Okay, today in class we learned, or we remembered what we learned last year in 6th grade, how to calculate the circumference of a circle. The only major difference this year is we're going to be using 3.14 for pi, since we now know how to multiply by decimals. Last year you probably used 3 for pi. You can still use 3 for pi as a quick estimate, and on multiple choice questions that will most likely be the best way anyway. You'll get an answer that's closest to the correct answer using 3 as an estimate, but we'll use 3.14 in these problems unless they tell us to estimate. So number 2 says a dime has a radius of 8.5 millimeters. Find the circumference of a dime to the nearest tenth. So first I want to express 8.5 as 8.5. Okay, circumference, the formula is circumference equals pi times the diameter. Circumference equals 3.14, and in this case they give us the radius. Radius is 8.5. Diameter is 2 times the radius, because remember the book we read, radius was the little kid, r, and lady diameter is about twice his height. So the diameter is all the way across the circle. The diameter is the longest chord in the circle. It passes through the center of the circle. It touches the circle on both, touches the outside the circumference of the circle and passes through the center. And radius goes from the center to the outside edge. So radius is 1/2 of the diameter, or diameter is 2 times the radius. So we have our diameter will be 2 times 8.5. Let's do that first. I'm ignoring the decimal, so it's like I'm multiplying 85 times 2. We'll put the decimal place in at the end. 5 times 2 is 10, carry the 1. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 1 is 17. There's 1 decimal place there. 0 decimal places in that factor, so 1 plus 0, or 1 decimal place in our sum, or in our product, sorry. So diameter equals 17.0, or just 17 millimeters. Okay, so circumference equals 3.14 times diameter. We determined the diameter is 17. So let's do that over here. We're multiplying with a decimal. We ignore the decimal, so it's like I'm multiplying 314 times 17. And we'll deal with the decimal point at the end. 4 times 7 is 28, carry the 2. 1 times 7 is 7, plus 2 is 9. 3 times 7 is 21. Now I'm multiplying by the 1 at the tens place, so I start with a 0. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Add those up and we get 1. 5338. C equals, but I have to think about our decimal places. I have 2 decimal places in this factor, 2 digits after the decimal. I have 0 decimal places in this factor, 2 plus 0, or 2 decimal places in my product, so the decimal place has to go right there. Circumference equals 53.38 millimeters. Remember, it's not millimeters squared. Circumference is a distance. It's like the perimeter of a circle, the distance around the circle. So it's one-dimensional, so it's just millimeters. It's a length. Okay, but it tells us to find it to the nearest tenth. So we need our circumference to end with the digit in the tenths place, which is this 3. So I look at the number to the right of that digit, and if it's 5 or more, I round up, and it's 8. So I'm going to change that, or increase that 3 to a 4, and our circumference is 53.4 millimeters. Okay, I was going to do one more, but we're almost out of time on this video already. Just some of the multiplication in this homework, if you're doing it by hand, is going to get kind of long, but it's good practice. Do it the way I showed you 2 examples here. Multiplying by decimals. We've done lots of multiplying by decimals this year, so it shouldn't be a problem. And then if you want to use a calculator at the end to check your answer, you can. If the answer you get on the calculator is different from your answer, go back and check your work. All of that is good practice. Okay, I'll see you in the morning.